Radiological anatomy. Thalamus and hypothalamus are separated by hypothalamic sulcus. Midbrain can be identified by the tectum with superior and inferior colliculi on posterior side, tegmentum on anterior side. Medulla oblongata passes through the foramen magnum and continues downward into the vertebral column as spinal cord. Cerebellum is connected to the brainstem with the help of peduncles. Superior cerebellar peduncles connect it with midbrain. Middle cerebellar peduncles connect it with pons. Inferior cerebellar peduncles connect it with medulla. Fourth ventricle is sandwiched between pons and upper half of medulla anteriorly. Cerebellum posteriorly. Central sulcus. It separates the frontal lobe from the parietal lobe. It is present slightly behind the middle of cerebrum, behind the precentral sulcus. It is best seen from middle surface of cerebrum. Precentral sulcus. It is present in middle of cerebrum. Paracentral lobule. It is present around the central sulcus. It is the sensory motor area for lower limbs, pelvis and perineum. Frontal motor cortex. It is present anterior to the central sulcus. It controls lower limb muscles, pelvis and perineum. Parietal sensory cortex. It is present posterior to the central sulcus. It receives sensations from lower limb, pelvis and perineum. Any vascular injury in this area can cause sensory and motor loss in lower limbs, pelvis and perineum. Parieto-occipital sulcus separates the parietal lobe from occipital lobe. Occipital lobe. It has a calcarine sulcus. The calcarine sulcus is the area of Brodmann area number 17, that is primary visual cortex. Corpus callosum. Commissural fibers connecting left and right side of cerebrum. Parts of corpus callosum. Rostrum. It connects the orbitofrontal cortex of both sides. Genu. Trunk. It connects the parietal and temporal lobes of both the sides. Splenium. It connects the occipital lobes of both the sides. Diencephalon. The downward extension of the diencephalon towards the orbit optic nerve. Posterior pituitary or neurohypophysis also arises from diencephalon. Pituitary gland. Anterior pituitary. It arises from Rathke's pouch. Posterior pituitary. It arises from diencephalon. It is located in sella turcica in the body of sphenoid bone at the floor of middle cranial fossa. Sphenoid bone is a pneumatic bone. Sphenoidal air sinus can be seen in X-ray below the pituitary gland. Important information. Spinal cord does not pass through the foramen magnum. Foramen magnum has lower part of medulla oblongata and cerebellar tonsils. Types of fibers. Coronal section of brain. White matter fibers are a collection of axons. Association fibers. They connect parts of brain on same side. They do not cross midline. For example, fibers which connect Wernicke sensory speech area with Broca's motor speech area. Commissural fibers. They connect the right and left side of brain. They cross the midline. For example, corpus callosum connects the right and left side of brain. Projection fibers. These fibers connect the higher brain center with lower brain center and vice versa. For example, internal capsule. Important information. Internal capsule divides the corpus striatum into two parts. Caudate nucleus medially, lentiform nucleus laterally. Corpus striatum is the part of basal ganglia. Fornix is present at the roof of third ventricle. Fornix has all three types of fibers. Commissural fibers mainly, association and projection fibers. Arcuate fasciculus. Broca's area, arcuate